Iran is rejecting calls from the U.S. and Europe not to retaliate against Israel for the assassination of a Hamas leader in Tehran 2 weeks ago. Iran's president saying the country has the right to respond. A senior U.S. official tells NBC News Iran is still deciding how and when. President Biden said he hopes a wider crisis can still be averted if Israel and Hamas agree to a ceasefire and hostage deal.
Do you have the understanding that Iran could cease or stop doing an action if a ceasefire deal was possible?
That's my expectation, but we'll see.
But there is very little hope this morning for the talks. Hamas says it already agreed to a U.S. proposal a month ago and won't attend a new round of negotiations set for this week, accusing Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu of stalling to keep the war going, an accusation he denies. Israel says it's Hamas that's stalling and continuing to hold hostages in Gaza. Romi Gonen was taken hostage from the Nova Music Festival. Last word her mother Mirav and sister Yarden received is that Romi is alive, but injured, shot in the arm. She turns 24 on Sunday.
We thought we will celebrate it with her here. We understand that probably it will not be here together.
You just want your loved ones to be safe and to be free. It's like simple as that.
Many Gazans say they want that too. These 4-day-old twins, witnesses say, were killed by Israeli fire. Their father says he just left them to collect their birth certificates. The Israeli military did not respond to our detailed request for information about the incident, but it has said repeatedly Hamas hides among civilians.
Well, as the entire region girds for war, the U.S. is whipping out the big guns, both diplomatically and militarily. The USS Abraham Lincoln has just joined the USS Theodore Roosevelt off the coast of the Middle East, waiting for a reaction from Iran to those twin assassinations about 2 weeks ago, one here in Beirut and the other in the Iranian capital of Tehran. The Iranians and Hezbollah, which is an Iran-backed militant group based here in Lebanon, both of them blame Israel, though Israel has only claimed the assassination of a top Hezbollah official here in Beirut 2 weeks ago. But both sides have vowed to retaliate, and now that's why the U.S. is really preparing for some kind of deterrence, in addition to those 2 aircraft carrier strike groups. And by the way, these aren't just aircraft carriers. They come with a retinue of 7 to 9 other warships each. So we're talking about an enormous amount of naval power. And on both of these ships, we have F-35s and F-22s, both very stealthy jets that are very powerful in combat. And in addition to that, we've seen the Georgia, which is a submarine that was also announced is headed here. And that's a rare announcement to say that there is a submarine that is headed to this region. Normally, the U.S. government is pretty stealthy about announcements about the movements of those submarines. So this is a huge amount of firepower, really waiting for the worst. But while that's going on, we're also seeing a deployment of diplomats. Amos Hochstein, one of the U.S.'s special envoys to the region, is here. He's in Beirut today. We spoke with him earlier. He said that he believes that he can negotiate and get all of these sides to step back from the brink. But that is going to be tough, because while we're seeing that tomorrow is the beginning of what has been billed as a last-ditch effort to negotiate some measure of peace in the Gaza Strip and to free those remaining hostages in Gaza, Hamas has said they won't be joining those negotiations. And instead, Hamas has said they would like to see the negotiators and Israel accede to a proposed treaty from a couple of months ago. Now, the Israelis are going to be there, but we don't know where these meetings are taking place tomorrow. It's going to be either in Cairo or in Doha in Qatar. But now we heard from Reuters, they quoted 3 senior unnamed Iranian officials saying that a successful negotiated deal to bring peace to the Gaza Strip could prevent them from retaliating against those assassinations. That might be the last best hope to prevent a major escalation that could wrap in the entire Middle East.